We
Jenny,
still
Jenny,
love you though, Jenny.
Jenny, can you still?
Can I what?
And so, as you heard, the guy asked me a question twice and then continued to overtalk me when I'm getting ready to answer the question. And so, I didn't get to answer the question during the show, but it is an important enough topic that I do want to answer it because I've had this question, this passage thrown up at me before from people who believe that you can lose your salvation, saying, "Okay, well, there's no more sacrifice for sins if we willingly sin. So explain yourself. Eternal security is bunk. Checkmate." So, how can we as Christians combat this and properly explain this verse in its context instead of snatching it out of it? So, it's actually very ironic because Paul in that passage is talking to people who are like the people on the panel, people who think that you have to do work in order to get to heaven. And so, what you'll read when you read the entire chapter is that the people that he's talking to are the Jews who think that they still have to do animal sacrifices in order to appease God, in order to get their way to heaven. And so, Paul tells them, okay, if you think that you still need to obey the law in order to gain salvation, then you had better obey the entire law. And if you don't obey the entire law, if you continue to sin, and do the law, because it's not about balancing your good with your bad. You have to be perfect in order to get to heaven. That's why Jesus is the only one who can get us there, because he's the only one who lived a perfect life. And so he's explaining to them, okay, if you willingly sin, there is no more sacrifice for you. So if you're going to try to get to heaven by the law, you had better be perfect. And that's the only way that you can get there. That is the proper context, and that is what Paul is saying in that passage. It's not talking about people who believed on Christ. It's talking about people who believed on their works. And so, because sacrificing animals was a work that people did in the Old Testament to symbolize the Lamb of God in the New Testament. People in the Old Testament, they were saved by faith alone as well, but they did a lot more symbolism to foreshadow things that were going to happen in the New Testament. And so that's what that passage means. And so the next time someone brings that up to you to say that eternal security is not legitimate, you can explain to them the proper understanding of that passage.
Can you